Have you come across someone that you feel like you need to really go beyond just asking, "Hey, how are you?" These are going to be a couple of different questions that you can ask someone who you feel like needs to have some more in-depth questions. So some of these questions may be a little bit awkward for you to ask, but if you don't feel like you are equipped in the moment to ask some things that you feel like you need to know to help someone, I can share with you these questions. So as a therapist, often we are able to ask questions of people that come natural to us because we have been trained. But as people not trained, you may have moments when you're around someone where you have figured out something is not normal with that person because you know the person. But also, if you don't know the person, you may feel like, hey, something feels off about this, but I need to check with you. So one of the first things that you kind of can get into asking this person, whether or not you know this person or not, is, how are you feeling today? Really, physically and mentally. That's a fairly casual way to figure out. So most people may still give you, I'm good, it's all right, everything's fine. So depending on how well you know the person, you can judge whether or not to try to pry a little bit more, because sometimes people don't like you getting into their business. So that can feel like you are, but it also seems a little bit more genuine than generally just, hey, how are you? So the more you go in depth with this is what I mean. This is where it kind of gets more into the questions that you would normally ask somebody. What's taking up most of your headspace right now? So you see that this is kind of getting into more of a therapeutic way of thinking. So it seems kind of odd to ask somebody that, but it's kind of digging a little bit deeper. Somebody may tell you, but they may not. What was your last full meal, and have you been drinking enough water? So you see, that's beyond a therapeutic way and more in line of something that you're like, okay, are you okay? Are you really okay? Because you're getting into somebody's routine. And so the next one would be something like, have you been sleeping okay? How are you sleeping? What's going on with your sleep? Have you been exercising? If you know the person typically exercises. If they are not exercising, then something may be up. Because typically when we feel different, we're going to behave differently. So this is going to get into, you really are starting to get a better picture of what's going on with somebody, because you know how you respond to mental changes, emotional changes. Sometimes when people have emotional changes, they will exercise more because it's distracting, maybe stress relieving, that type of thing. But sometimes people kind of slack off too, because it's just maybe something that they do differently. What did you do today that made you feel good? So now we're getting back into the therapeutic, cognitive way of thinking, question type way of questioning. So sometimes if you are able to remind somebody what it is that they've done good today, or something that they enjoyed, then that's your way of helping them get back center. So it's kind of helping you help them. So those are less routinized based questions. So you're helping them by doing that. What's something you can do today that would be good for you? So if the person answers you like, well, I haven't done anything, you can help them by coming up with something, or you're reminding them, hey, if you haven't done anything, let's Let's come up with something that you can do, or something that you normally might do. So you're helping give somebody some structure. So you are helping somebody else in that way that you may normally not have been able to, because these are not typically questions that people ask each other. So you're, again, just checking in. So this is so helpful to other people. What's something you're looking forward to in the next days? That's great. So hopefully the person that you're attempting to help is not in such a depressive state that they may be having suicidal thoughts. But if they are, you're giving somebody hope. Because if somebody is having suicidal thoughts, then this is giving them some hope for better days. Because when people are suicidal, it's not a selfish thing. That's what most people think. But it's the quickest solution that person can find to their problem. So you're helping to try to pull somebody out of that, because that's how trauma and pain work. What's something that we can do within the week that you'd like? So you're helping do it as a collective thing. That's always something that can help somebody. Showing them that they're not alone. They're not going to have to do this on their own. So again, when you're just checking in with someone, you're helping them make this situation a little better, because you're feeling a part of it, of course, and you don't feel so helpless. But you're also letting them know, hey, I got you. And you don't have to always be a therapist, because you're not always going to have access to somebody who has, quote unquote, been a trained professional. Or in some cases, you have access to somebody who is like peer support. So somebody who has had some experience with this type of situation. And it doesn't always have to be somebody in severe need. So it can be somebody who's just kind of having a bad day. So that's a good thing to have, these types of tools that you can use even on yourself. Because if you're able to do that, then hey, why not use it? So if you can think about, what are you grateful for right now? You may have, several things that are going wrong in your life, but there's always going to be at least one small thing that you can be grateful for. You can define it for yourself, or you can also talk with the person, or you can talk with a trained professional. There's always going to be something small, at least, that you can be thankful for. If you have any comments, you can leave them. If you would like to talk more about this, let me know. Email me and we can discuss that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have other ideas, you can email me or contact me on social media. Thanks.